across the city, in Lincoln Park, River North, and UIC, because of the decisions of lack of priority of funding for CPS schools, so I must travel 200 miles per week to get my children to excellent schools. My local public school has not been closed once, but twice, Barron and Addicts. The decisions that affect one portion of the city literally affect my family directly in many ways. The city's trying to rush through these mega developments funded with the creation of 2 massive new TIF districts that will cost taxpayers $2.4 billion right before the mayor leaves office. TIFs expire in 23 years. My youngest child is 9. He will be 32 when these mega TIFs expire. These 2 mega TIFs will be robbing billions, not just from this generation of 360,000 CPS students, but from even my future grandchildren. We are one city of many, but not just one central core that seems to always be the priority. Look around and see what community groups have spoken in support of this project. I've only heard groups representing paid contractors. Of course they support it. Who's at this table representing the public infrastructure and institutions for the public good, like schools and communities? Creation of these TIFs means that Rogers Park to Roseland taxes on Chicagoans are going to be raised for 23 years because that's what supports our city. By sequestering property tax dollars, arguably in some of the most wealthiest, least blighted areas of the city that could never pass the but-for test that TIF districts require in order to subsidize wealthy corporate developers. I'd like the commissioners to ask the Department of Planning if they've even asked related. Are any of these areas, would have they been developed if it wasn't for the but-for test and without this TIF district? Would that even be a possibility? I'm also on the board of Raise Your Hand, an organization that's been tracking cuts to CPS budgets to the tune of $500 million in the last 5 years. Schools don't have nurses, they don't have librarians, they don't have counselors. My daughter's school is in the middle of the old Cabrini Green neighborhood. It's 10 years old, that school. It's one of the best in the city. It hasn't benefited at all from all of the vast improvements going in over Cabrini Green, now known as River North. The roof still leaks, but we're also on a list of dozens of other schools in CPS who have worse leaking roofs needing replacement, and we all still wait. Are we going to have to wait 23 more years? I was also on the LSC of Beasley, my local public school on 51st Street. We were fortunate to receive a couple $100,000 in TIF surplus from our alderman, but that is because that's all that she could afford from the district that doesn't pull in that much revenue. We are in a blighted community. That's what TIF was meant for. Please make all parts of the city a priority, all parts that stretch from the Rogers Park all the way to Roseland. The city does not stop at Roosevelt, it stretches to 138th Street. The Center for Tax and Budget Accountability has calculated that CPS schools are $2 billion below what they need to be adequately funded. That's exactly what CPS is being diverted from TIF districts. We should make sure that public dollars are going for public good.